All right. So starting with our win over Syracuse, thought it was a really good team win. You've heard me talk a lot about complementary football this year, and maybe the best quarter of it in my career was our second quarter of that game. The offense scoring, the special teams touchdown with Bam, the interception return for touchdown by Drake, and then the end of half 2-minute drive where we stop them, get the ball with a minute left, and go down and score another touchdown to get 28 points in 6 minutes was just pretty incredible. Awesome to have the Thomas brothers both score in a game, and a special moment that was for them. I thought, we played physical. I challenged our team. I thought Syracuse coming into our game, up front, they were really good on both sides. They best rushing attack in our conference, and defensively, one of the best pressure teams in our conference with sacks and tackles for loss. We had 19 plays in their backfield. They had 6 in ours, and I thought that was a huge key to the game. So proud of our guys for what they did against the fronts on both sides of the line of scrimmage. It was our third special teams touchdown of the year, which says a lot about how those kids are playing. Guys are straining, and overall, I just can't emphasize enough how proud I am of this team and our staff for showing the resiliency that we have. There's a lot of teams that quit in the course of a season when things don't go exactly how they thought they were going to go. We've had 3 difficult, challenging, heartbreaking type losses, a 1-point loss, a 3-point loss. And we've responded with really, really good play the following week. And that's hard with these young people today and how many voices are in their ears. I think it just says a lot about the culture of our football team. It says a lot about the way these guys are, the type of kids that we have. They've embraced rising up. They've embraced what adversity does. It creates opportunities. And I think that says a lot about these young men and the coaches that are leading them. We have a great group here, and they pour it out on that field every week. And really proud of them for that. So, with the game itself offensively, both our backs were over 4 yards a carry in a run game. Devin, another 300-yard performance without an interception. Offensively, took care of the football. It's something we really worked hard on. Obviously, the week before we had 3 turnovers against Wake and lost. So the guys responded. We were 5 of 5 in the red zone, and I thought we caught the football well. Negatives, we got stopped on a 4th and 2 where we had a bust in the blocking assignment. That was disappointing because that was there. And we started slow. We wanted to get off to a better start than we did. Defensively, scoring on defense, it was great to get that. Outside of 2 long runs we gave up, I thought we defended their run game well throughout the game. I thought we set edges, we got off blocks, we tackled, we were disruptive. We were 75% on 3rd down. And as I mentioned, 5 sacks and 14 TFLs. Negatives, we did give up 2 explosive runs. One of them, we just didn't play it well. The other one, they caught us in a light box and exposed it with the quarterback run. And, good play by them, bad call by us. And, that happens every now and then. You just hope you can get them down, and we didn't. The special teams, touchdown run by Bam was special. The guys strained, but, for him to be able to bounce off of those guys and then run away from them was pretty impressive run by him. They had good return game. I thought we limited them in their return game. They do some good things on special teams at Syracuse. And Chris made all his field goals. And so now moving forward, our last home game, and get to play our rival UNC. When you look at them, one of the best scoring offenses in the league. They're very balanced, 200 plus yards rushing, 250 yards passing per game. Their tailback, the transfer Chandler from Tennessee, is over 1,000 yards and is playing well, and definitely has speed back there. I think Sam Howell, man, he's a fierce competitor. He's tough. He's done a great job running the football. He's always thrown it well, but he's been a big threat for them with his feet. The slot receiver, Josh Downs, has 90 catches and is definitely their go-to guy. They're big up front on both sides. They have a huge offensive line, big defensive line, long DBs, and they play a lot of press coverage. So, it's great to play them. I wish it wasn't a night game on Friday, but I'm excited we're playing them and excited about what the game means. It's a unique rivalry being as close as we are and all the things that go along with it that you guys are aware of. But more importantly than that, to me, is it's senior day. And it's interesting, unique senior day now. These COVID seniors kind of make it a different feel. It used to be guys that could no longer come back, and now it's guys that have the option to come back in some cases. So we will have our normal guys that are out of eligibility. We'll also have guys walking that have eligibility that haven't made decisions yet. And so you can read into that however you want. I'm not going to tell you because I don't know what some of our underclassmen are doing. Some of them are going to walk, and not because they've made decisions, because they don't want to miss out on walking if that's the decision they make. And I want to be very clear about that. These guys have bought into waiting until the season's over and trying to finish and play, as undistracted as they can be. And so I think, the NFL doesn't allow us to get the grades back on underclassmen until after they've played their last regular season game, which is this week. So we will submit that information for our underclassmen. We can do up to 5 of those with the NFL. It takes about 2 weeks, and then there'll be guys making decisions whether they want to come back or whether they want to leave. You guys saw it last year. Tyrone Riley and CJ Riley were part of senior day, and then they returned to our football team. So this is something that has happened in the past. We'll just have to see how it plays out. It's an interesting draft too. There's 1,100 more players in this year's draft than there was in any other draft because of COVID with these guys returning. And so there is a big decision that some guys have to make. And as always, we're going to gather all the information we can from the NFL. We have a great partnership with them, and they'll tell us, what they think guys should do. We'll give that information to the families of our players and to the kids, and let them make great business decisions and do everything we can to support them through that. It means a lot to me to be a part of senior day. I mean, that's one thing. And I've said this to you guys in the past as a former player, even though it was a long time ago, I remember my senior day. I remember everything about it. And so will these guys. And as a coach, it's very, very important to me to do everything we can to send them out with a win. And so there's a million reasons to win a football game. Rivalry week. One of our goals is to be undefeated at home. Legacy opportunities and being undefeated at home hasn't happened in 35 years. Having a chance to win 10 games if we win this, being alive for the ACC championship game if Wake Forest loses. There's a million of them, and they're all important reasons. But senior day, to me, seeing those guys in the locker room after a game, it's going to be painful for them either way. And I want it to be where there's that smile on their face after a win. So excited to play UNC with the starting quarterback in the lineup for us. It's been 3 years since that happened. Last 2, we've had injuries at that position. So, excited for that and look forward to one heck of a game. Sam Howell's in the game for them with Devin Leary. You got 2 fantastic quarterbacks playing in a college football game right there that have done a lot for their schools. Lastly, before I open it up, I know it's Thanksgiving week and there's a lot to be thankful for. And I just want to really ask our fan base to be special this week. It's a Friday night of Thanksgiving. I realize what I'm asking, but these young men deserve every seat to be filled, and we need you to be our 12th man, to be as loud and as intense as you can be and be on your feet, to honor these seniors and to also make it very difficult on our opponent. When you do that, it makes a huge difference. And so, again, would love for you all to be a part of this experience Friday night with us against UNC. Any questions?
All right, David.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the players with eligibility that may walk. Do you have an idea of who those are going to be?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. So we've got, I don't know, it's really hard to even figure it all out, to be honest with you. There's so many guys that have a COVID year now, but we have 7 guys who don't have eligibility remaining. Emeka, Chris Ingram, Daniel Joseph, Dylan Parham, CJ Riley, Tyrone Riley and Chandler Zavala. But Chandler's got a waiver that we're working on to get him back for another year. So those are the guys who don't have eligibility remaining. There's several walk-on players on our team. Matt Aldifer, Levi Dorsey, Camden Woods, Bo Wrestler, Walter Karstens, Alex Gray, Justin Dunn, and Danny Blakeman, who will go through senior day and will not be back with the football team. They're going to start life's work. So, and then there's guys that are trying to make decisions and haven't made them. That'll be walking or not walking, and just leave it at that.
Brett.
Dave, on Mac's press conference earlier this morning, he said that he would love to see some kind of a trophy or some kind of an annual thing to be passed back and forth between the winner of your game here with them, sort of like their victory bell with Duke. Would you like to see something like that? And has anything like that been discussed before?
No, I think it's a great idea, though. I think those trophy games are very meaningful. I've been a part of those at most of the schools I've coached at, and they mean a lot. We have the one trophy here now from our game with Clemson, and it sits in our lobby. I think that's a great thing for those games to have, and be a great conversation for me and Mac and our administration and their administration to put our heads together in the off season, try to figure that out.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Jonas.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the battle this weekend with two great quarterbacks, but obviously, Sam didn't play this last weekend. They said he's supposed to play this weekend. But just in case you're not caught off guard like you were at Florida State, are you preparing for the backup guys that they have at Carolina to see them this Friday?
Well, there's not a lot to go off of to prepare for the backups. I mean, they've limited work on film. Sam's taken a lot of the 99% of the workload for 3 years over there, So we'll definitely look at, the game against Wofford. I anticipate him playing. Yeah, that guy's had a heck of a career. But as always, we'll wait till game day to figure out who's really playing and adjust from there.
JB.
Hey, Coach, appreciate you taking out the time. Can you speak on, the importance of this rivalry? Obviously, these two teams, definitely will bring it all when it comes to this game every single year. But there's obviously another significance with this one, with you guys still being in contention for the ACC championship. Can you just speak about the importance of having that element on this game, especially this late in the year, with it already being the rivalry game that it is?
Yeah, no, I think it's, makes it even more meaningful. And I don't know how much that plays into how we play, but, like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of reasons to win this football game. There's a lot of them. You can pick out of all the things I listed and, which one means more to you. So I guess with my players, we can list them all and let them pick which one matters the most, but to me, it's the seniors. Like, I want to see those guys walk out of here winners and being ready to play in Charlotte. Absolutely. Having a chance to win 10 games. Absolutely. Beating our rival, which we haven't done in 2 years. Absolutely. And haven't played well against them, in 2 years. So there's a lot of reasons for us to try to win this football game. And I know our guys are going to give everything they have. They had a great look in their eye yesterday and expect a really good week of practice and preparation.
James.
Yeah, Dave, can you just discuss the job Todd Gobel's done with your special teams? I think when you hired him, you referenced that was one of the reasons you went out and got him.
Yeah, Todd's done a great job. He's very engaging with our players. They've bought in hook, line, and sinker on how he wants things done. He pushes them hard. He challenges them. He's creative. He's a forward thinker with his schemes. He understands kind of what people do to attack what he does. And I think he stays ahead of the curve sometimes with what can happen in a game on different schemes, and I think, the fundamentals of special teams sometimes get overlooked. I think a lot of special teams coaches I've been around spend more time scheming. Todd spends a lot of time on fundamentals, and I think that shows up with the guys.
David.
You talked a lot last year about, how it was your most difficult season as a head coach with everything that you guys went through. Mm-hmm. How much joy have you found this year and the journey that you guys have gone through and just sort of I guess things aren't totally back to normal, but just having some of those things be better and just getting to be closer to this team.
Well, it's a great team to coach. They're awesome guys, man. I really am lucky to be around them and the staff. We have great chemistry. So it is truly, I don't know if I feel the joy while it's going on. Like it's such a grind at times, you know. But man, when you get around the players and you get on that grass with them, it's a great group of young men. Same with the staff. They're easy to work with. They work hard. They carry their own weight. And it is a lot better to be out of what we were in last year, worrying about all the things that went into contact tracing each week and 3 times a week being tested in the lobby and walking in, people in hazmat or, the big hazard suits, basically swabbing your nose. And it was a crazy year, man, changing our schedules all the time. So we found a way to win 8 games through all that and was proud of that. And now we're sitting here with 8 with a chance to keep it going. And it's because of these young men and their diligence and work ethic and wanting to get better. So looking forward to seeing them here in a few more days.
Jonas,
Coach, you've talked so much the last couple of years, always about how much senior day means to you. You've mentioned it several times today. In 2019, obviously you guys played Carolina on senior day, and you talked about the team in the locker room after that game. You guys had a good senior day last year against Georgia Tech, but how much will not having that same feeling you guys had in 2019 kind of fuel you? I mean, I know you're going to coach any differently, but how much would it kind of fuel you throughout the week to make sure your guys don't have that same feeling like you had 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, every year is a different team, and I've had a lot of meetings with players this, leading up to this press conference, even just about the week and senior day and leadership and things that we can do. It's pretty resounding where these guys are at with this game and how they want to play and what they know they didn't do against our rival the last 2 years. So, we need to play better against them and we need to practice better, need to prepare better, need to coach better, all those things. And so there's a good demeanor right now with this football team for this game.
Todd Gibson,
Yeah, Dave, you touched on it quickly in your intro. Did you want this to be a day game in respect for high school football? Is that what that was all about, Coach?
Absolutely. And it's Friday night playoffs right now in the state. I mean, the team my son plays for plays Friday night, the same time we play. So yeah, I'm completely against Friday night football, until the high school season's over. I don't think it's right. Doesn't matter what I think when it comes to TV revenue, but that's my opinion. I don't think it's right.
does anybody else have anything? Jonas,
Because you talked about special teams earlier, and we've all seen what Bam can do, like once he actually has the ball in his hands. But how much does he help that unit with just being a threat of being a return man when they have to kick away from him or they have to adjust their kicking as an opposing team?
Yeah, if I'm on that unit, I'm blocking really hard, man, because something great could happen at any moment, and we had it with Naheem here too. It was an exciting play when the ball got kicked off that tee. You didn't know what was going to happen. And Bam has got 3 touchdowns now in 2 years doing it. And so we'll see if they're going to kick away or not. I know, their kicker's 85% touchback. He's done a nice job putting it in the end zone. But as you know, sometimes the weather dictates how far you can kick a ball. And we're on grass that sometimes is a little slippery. They got turf over there. It's got more grip for their plant foot. He might slip and kick a ball to Bam this week on accident. So we'll just have to see how that plays out on game day.
And after Syracuse, I asked Bam, I said, were you surprised that they kicked to you after what you did against Wake Forest? And he was like, honestly, yeah. Were you surprised that, Syracuse actually gave him some opportunities to return last week?
It's a tough thing, like we deal with the same thing with our kickoff team. And because, if you decide to sky kick it the whole game, you're giving up yardage that hurts your defense. Right. And then we talked about the squib kicking last week. Like sometimes the squib bounces right to the guy and now there's no hang time, and the guy gets the ball even quicker. So it's a tough situation, kicking away from somebody. You have to have a kicker that can cross kick and kick it deep and not give it away with his alignment and his footwork. Because if you're getting a cross kick, you just move your guy over. And so, it's not as easy as people out there think. I'll just kick away from him. Like, yeah, okay, well, give us the ball in the 35 the whole day and see how that goes for your defense. Like, that's not good either. So it's not as easy as people out there think that are, eating Doritos and screaming at the TV. It's a little bit harder than that.
Rob, what you got?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, what were the plans for Thanksgiving and how much do you enjoy spending time with the team? I guess they're sort of a second family to you.
Yeah, we're going to Braza Steakhouse. As I told the guys, people are going to walk around with those big skewers of meat, and we're going to see if we can break a Guinness Book of World Records for how much meat we put down as a football team in one night. It's going to be an awesome meal. So we'll do that one night. And then Thursday night, we'll be at our team hotel, having a Thanksgiving meal together that way. Our coaches' wives and kids will all be with us at the other meal that we have this week. And a lot to be thankful for, man, across the board, family-wise, staff-wise, player-wise. And, I think it's a great week to reach out to the people you love and let them know that.
All right, I think that's a good note to end it. No hands up. Coach, thank you. Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Thank you, guys. Have a great week.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks,
Merry
Annabelle.
Christmas.
Thanks, Coach. Hey, I just want to say.